Hey guys, today we're on Windows 10 and we're going to install Kodi 15.0 onto it. Why are we doing that? Number one, because I've upgraded my little HP Stream notebook computer to Windows 10 and I seem to like it. It's okay so far. And number two, I've had quite a few people tell me they've upgraded to Windows 10 and they're having problems installing Kodi 15.0 on it. Now they didn't specify where they run into their problems, but we're going to see if we run into any problems at all. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's open up our browser and we would just go to kodi.tv/downloads. And I'm on Windows, so I'm going to download the Windows version, and to save some time I've already done that. I've got it saved onto my desktop. So let's go ahead and minimize that and get started. We'll go ahead and click on Kodi and get ready to install here, and we're just going to say next, I agree, next, next, and install. Now this will take a minute or two to install, and that's okay. I'm not going to pause the video here or speed anything up. We're going to go right through the process. To do the setup here today, we're going to do just like we did in our last video. We're just going to copy and paste some links right here from the website. So I'll put the link to this in the video description. And since this is my first time setting up on here, I might go ahead and even install some of the live TV stuff, and we'll just use this down here to do it. For right now, we'll go ahead and minimize this though and get Kodi installed. So we're just going to say run Kodi and finish. So we know we're going to have some updates here. Let's go into system info, and we are running Kodi 15.0. And guys, by the way, I do expect this to be a long video because I'm going to go through pretty much my entire process here just like I normally do, because I am setting this up for myself. So the first thing I'm going to do here, well, as a matter of fact, let's do this. We'll go into videos, and we know we're going to see that, so I'll say OK. So like I say, I expect that to do an update. So while it's doing its thing here, we're going to go ahead and grab a link and get ready to install. So the first thing we're going to do is install Fusion. I'm just going to copy and paste here to save me some typing. So I'll just copy that. We'll minimize that and we'll go back into Kodi. We'll go to, we'll go under System to File Manager, Add Source. We'll click on None. And we're just going to paste that in there. So let's paste the link and we'll say done. We'll click down here at the bottom and we'll call this Fusion. And we will say done and we'll say OK. We'll hit the home button. Now we'll go back to System. We'll go to Add-ons, Install from Zip File, and we'll click on Fusion. We'll click on Start here, and down here at the bottom, Plug-in Video Hub Wizard, we'll click that. So that's going to install the config wizard for us, and we should see that pop up, and there it is. So we'll hit the home button, and now we can go to Programs. We'll click on the config wizard. We're running Windows, so we'll click on Windows and we'll say yes. And so far, guys, we haven't had any problems doing anything in Windows 10 as far as installing Kodi. So we'll see if we run into any problems somewhere along the line here. I don't anticipate running into any problems. I wouldn't imagine a place where we would run into problems at this point. So again, this takes a minute or two to load up. And while that's doing that, let's go ahead and go back to the website and just grab another link so we'll be ready. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the website and we'll grab the link for Super Repo. We'll just copy that link right there. Now we're ready. Over the month of August, guys, I'm going to try to do several more videos than I've been doing in the past. I'm going to actually touch on some of the video add-ons, and we're going to just test a few out that maybe we've never tested out before and see what we think of them. So we can see we've got Fusion installed there. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go over here into System, and I'm going to go to Appearance, and right here, Show RSS News Feeds. I'm going to click on that to disable it because I don't like the scrolling text down at the bottom of the page. So I anticipate some updates here. So before we move on and install another link, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and go to Maintenance Tools and Continue and OK. And I'm going to go to System Tweaks, and I'm going to go to Wallpaper Downloads because I want to change my background. So I'm just going to click on anything here only to be able to set up a directory. So Wallpaper Download directory, and actually, you know what, I don't even have that on this computer, to come to think of it. So I'll go ahead and do that anyway. I'll see users, gem, pictures, and we'll say OK. And we'll say OK. So that's what should be downloading. So okay, I'm going to go back to the home button. Now let's go ahead and go over to System. Let's go to Appearance. Let's go to Settings. Let's go to Background Options. And right here under Enable Custom Backgrounds, that's where we're going to choose our path. So we know where we put our picture there, right? And there it is. And there we go. So we'll just leave it at that for a minute. Of course, I will change that, but that's how we're going to set that up. So let's go ahead and go back under System to File Manager, and let's go ahead and add source. You remember we already went and copied the link for Super Repo, so let's paste that in there. Let's hit done. Down here at the bottom we'll click, and we're just going to call it Super. Call it whatever you want, just so you know what it is. So now let's hit the home button, and let's go back to System, Add-ons, Install from Zip File, and this time we're going to Super. We want to get this one right here. We'll click on it, and we'll say All, and we'll click on it. So that's going to install Super Repo for us. That'll just add a lot more add-ons that we can go in and enable. And like I say, I plan on looking at quite a few add-ons this month. So it's probably going to do some updates, and it looks like it's already started updating some add-ons. So let's go under Video Add-ons. I'll put that in a thumbnail view. And we can see there's quite a bit there, and generally I go in and I just disable or uninstall a lot of these that I know I'm not going to use, but since we are going to look at some this month, I'm just going to leave it alone. So let's go to get more. They're in alphabetical order, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got here, because I'm looking for IPTV Stalker because I took a look at this yesterday and it was working with iView, and there was also a standalone that fix that you could do just to have it work by itself, but I think we may take a look at the iView, so we're going to go ahead and install that. Again, guys, we're going to do a lot here today, so I anticipate this is going to be quite a long video. So let me go back into video add-ons. Now we got that. So okay, we're good to go here. We'll go to the home button, and what's the next step? What do we want to do next? Let's do this. Let's get ready to set up our libraries. And to do that, I'm going to go under System to File Manager. I'm going to go to the Profile Directory. I'm just going to go to Library. And right here on these three little dots up here at the top, I'm going to right click. I'm going to make a new folder, and I'll start out with TV shows. We'll say done. And I'll do the same thing again. Three little dots. I'm going to right click, make a new folder, and this one we'll call movies. And we'll say done. Now let's hit the home button, and let's go over to under video to files, and we'll have to back up here. So let's go to files and add videos. So what we want to do is we want to point this to the folders we just created. So let's browse, home folder, user data, libraries, movies. Okay. It says movies down here. Okay. So let's make this say movies. And I'm going to use Genesis to set my libraries up here. I'm going to say no for right now. So let's do the same thing. We'll go back. We'll browse, home folder, user data, library, movies, and okay. Actually, you know what, guys? We've already added the movies, so we want to cancel that. We want to go to TV shows. So let's fix that. Home folder, user data, library, TV shows, and okay. And okay. So let's make this say TV shows. We'll say okay, and we can say no. So now we've got movies and TV shows. So let's hit our home folder, and again we're going to use Genesis to set this up. So let's go to video add-ons, and we'll get on Genesis and highlight it, and we'll right click and we'll go to add-on settings, and we'll just go over to library, and we want to point these to the same folder. So movies, we want to go to home folder, user data, library, movies, and okay. Now this would be a little different if you're on an Android device. This is the way we do it in Windows though. So let's do it for TV, home folder, user data, library, TV shows, and okay. So we're ready to go there. So let's go ahead and go into Genesis, and we'll just add a few movies here and a few TV shows. And of course I would come back and update this later, and we'll just go to most popular. So Ant-Man, we're going to right click on it, add to library. Avengers, we'll do the same thing, add to library. Guardians of the Galaxy, we'll right click on that, add to library. The Dark Knight, we'll right click, add to library. And the X-Men, we'll go ahead and do the same thing there. And this is just going to be an example, guys. So let's go ahead and back up, and let's get into the TV shows. So let's go to TV shows. Let's go to most popular. And we'll just add one or two here, guys, because I want to get through this as quickly as I can. I don't want to stretch this out to be a real long video. So let's just pick something here. We'll go to the strain. We'll highlight it, right click, add to library. And we'll do the same thing with the 100. So we'll right click on that and add to library. So now we should have those items listed on our menu bar, and our library should be set up and we can just go and add to it. And in fact, they're there. So there's movies. So if we click on movies, we can see the list in there. Or you have some shortcuts up here, the most recent that you've added. And the same goes with TV shows. The most recent episode will show up out here. And you can click on TV shows and you have the list of everything you added. Of course, we would add a lot more than that, but we're just not going to do it right now to save some time on video. So let's hit the home button. We have our library set up. I think the next thing we want to do is start to set up our live TV. So again, let's go back to our website because there's some stuff there that we need. So let's go ahead and click on the website, and down we're going to use these three down here for the purpose of this video. And this IPTV EPG, this is a download, so we're going to go ahead and click on that and we're going to download that, and it's going to go to our downloads folder. So now let's copy and paste this first one here, the IPTV URL. We'll copy it. We'll go back to Kodi and we'll start setting up some live TV. So let's go to System. Let's go to TV. And up here on General, we'll scroll out and we'll click Enable. So it should tell us momentarily that there's not a PVR client set up, and it's going to give us an option to do that. So this is taking a little longer than anticipated. I've not seen it take this long before. So we're just going to hold up here and see what happens. And there it goes. It finally started scanning. So right here we'll just say OK. And what we want to do is we want to pick the PVR IPTV Simple Client. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just right click on it and we'll click Configure. So under General, the M3U playlist, we'll click on that and we're going to paste in the URL we just copied. And just that quick, we're done with that. So let's go to the EPG. Remember I told you to download the first one? So let's go ahead and say this is a local path and it's in our downloads folder, so we just have to point that there. So we'll go to C, Users, Gem, Downloads, and there it is. There's the guide. So we'll say OK. And channel logos, we didn't get that one yet, so let's go back over to the website, and right there's the logos on the bottom. We want to grab that and we'll just copy it, and we'll go back under channel logos. We'll click right here and we'll just paste that in. We'll hit done and we'll say OK. So now let's go ahead, right click on that again, add on information, and let's click Enable. So what we may have to do here, guys, at this point is we'll just go ahead and hit the X there. We'll go back to the home button. We'll go back to System. Right here where it says TV, we'll click on it. Up here on General, you remember we clicked Enabled a minute ago. Let's click on it again to disable it. and click on it again to enable it again. And now we should have that in our menu bar for live TV. Yes, and there it is. So live TV, and there we go. So I'm not going to go through any of this right now as far as clicking on any links to see what's working and what's not. I want to go ahead and finish setting everything up here. So before I go any further, let me go ahead and kind of clean up my menu bar here, because I know I'm not going to need a lot of the stuff that's on my menu bar, so I'm just going to hide it. So I'm going to go into Appearance, and I'm going to go into out from Skin. I'm going to go into Settings, Home Window Options, and we're going to hide some stuff. We're going to hide music, because I know I'm not going to use any music. I'm going to hide the pictures. Yeah, I think that's enough for right now. So let's go ahead and see what we've got. We've got our library set up. We've got our live TV set up. So we're going to wrap this up, guys. We've got everything we need to get started, and we'll come back and we will be touching base on a few of the video add-ons that we're going to be using over the month of August. Guys, we will see you in the next video.